Hey there, this is the Groovy Historian. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. It's a collaborative video with Unlocking History. 15 of the most gruesome tortures in history. So number 1, Impalement. The favourite of Vlad the Impaler's impalement was ever so gruesome. Torture not only killed the victim but killed them in a rather painful way and sometimes slowly. The victim would be forced to either sit, lay on the side or back, where the pole would be impaled through their backside. The pole would even be raised upright where the victim would painfully slowly fall down and die on the sharp pole. Now, number 2, another torture that is sort of ironic in use of tool is water cure. Now yes, water is one thing that every human needs to survive, but like all things, when it's used too much, opposite effect will happen. Water curing will force the victim to drink large amounts of water. In a short space of time, the nose will be closed and time resulting in water intoxication, gastric tension and even death. Number 3. Death by 1,000 cuts. A more painful, damaging torture. Death by 1,000 cuts, slowly a painful execution from China. Flesh wounds will be cut severally parts of the body from small cuts to large slabs of body, killing a person, as well destroying the person, a body punishment after death. Number 4. The Judas Cradle, also known as Judas chair, was a torture device from 6th century Spain, involving the victim being forced to suspend waist harness above a sharp pyramid-like chair. The point would get inserted either through the vagina or anus of the victim before they were killed slowly on the sharp chair, but the victims could live for hours or days, which increasing the pain. Number 5. Bronze ball, a torture method that was somewhat of an art. Brazen ball was a brass model torture device shaped of a ball, but the victim would be locked in while the filter under the ball, slowly suffocating, burning the victim. The ball was built in a way would change and scream the victims inside. The sound the ball would participate watching. Now, number 6, the head crusher was a brutal torture method used during the medieval era. The victim's chin would be placed on the bottom of a bar device, head under a cap. The torture would be slowly turning and screwing the bottom of the bars against the cap. Above the head of the victim, the head would get squeezed and first saturating the teeth, and the jaw would squeeze out of their eyes and ultimately die in a gruesome way. Number 7. The breaking wheel, another long and painful way to die. The victim would be tied on a large wooden wheel and beaten with a club, killing them slowly. If torturing, showing sympathy to the victim, they would be in crippled limbs or parts of the body first, so the victim would die quicker, or instead slowly and painfully dying. Number 8. Dunking, another torture involving water. Dunking was another form of corporal punishment during the medieval era throughout the 17th century. There was a method of performing dunking on a victim. Although instead the victims being dunked in water, continuously conduct a rope and holding them, the torture would either float or not on surface, so pulled up when they did not float, so this was quite gruesome in itself. Number 9. Scapholism, a very unsanitary way of dying, involving the victim being stripped of their clothes and locked in 2 narrow boats, joined together, one at the top of the other, only their hands and feet and head out. The victim would be forced to drink a mixture of honey and milk. They severely have diarrhea and even more honey poured on them to attract insects. The victim then would be left to float on a stagnant pond, and even insects would be attracted to eat the flesh of them and breed fecal matter the barrel, and that ultimately will die because this repeated cycle. Number 10. Death by bowling. The death by bowling was a method of execution. The victim would be submerged in boiling water or oil and killing the victim in bubbling fashion. Number 11. Saw torture, another gory torture. Saw torture involved in the victim being hung upside down, sawed literally in half, and sometimes the torture would only cut the victim's stomach so to prolong the painful death. Number 12. The racket. The racket was a torture device, was a rectangular frame raised above the ground and rolled on either sides, both ends. The victim angle fastened and the wrist on the other side. The torture would ratchet the mechanism up and down, and the leela will slowly increase the tension of the victim, dislocating, separating joints, and very painful. During the tortures, the victim will die eventually. Now, number 13. Neck torture. Neck torture was very humiliating and painful punishment. The victim would be hooked into a neck device. They wouldn't be able to adjust their position and prolong lying down, and their heads eaten for days. Number 14. Iron Maiden. Another torture method that was somewhat a work of art. Iron Maiden was upright sarcophagus consisting of spikes interior and outdoor of the doors, both pointing inside. The victim would be forced inside and unable to move, impaled in many directions. The victim would be forced to stand there and bleed slowly, and the spikes would get strategically hit in vital points. Not eventually would be killing them, but would be slowly and dying and bleed, position spikes out from their eyes. Now number 15. Rat torture. Last and not least, the rat torture was the gruesome torture that wouldn't wish on many the worst enemies. Bucket containing live rats or rats would be placed on the stomach, where the heat would be applied, and the bucket will cause the rat to go crazy and start tearing through the body ligaments and feeling the rats eat away at the skin in a painful manner that eventually they'll find no way out and just go through it and the person will die. Hope you enjoyed the 15 tortures throughout the time of history. Me Unlocking History done the production and record this. Check him out and stay groovy, everyone.